All right, boys, October the 2nd. It is a Wednesday. This time, a couple of happy birthdays. Happy 62nd birthday to former NFL quarterback Mark Rypien. This guy had a cannon for an arm. A lot of people forget this, but this guy was as accurate a deep thrower as anybody in the league at the time that he was in the NFL. He could throw a bomb, and he could throw a dead on point. Washington State, he was very good there. Got some popos over here. We got a funeral. Could be the Kibe Mutombo funeral coming through Richmond. So this is Mark Rypien, he was one of those guys that was hidden on Joe Gibbs, head coach Joe Gibbs of the Redskins, had this system where he would hide young quarterbacks on the injured reserve list for a couple years until they were ready to play. Rypien was one of these guys. The year after the Theismann injury, the draft after the Theismann injury, he was picked in the 6th round out of Washington State, the 1986 draft, and was on the injured reserve, didn't suit up the whole season, didn't suit up the whole 1987 season. He did get a Super Bowl ring, Super Bowl 22, as the being on the team, but it was Doug Williams and Jay Schrader. And then in 1988, he split time with Doug Williams, and then in 1989, he was the full-time starter with the Redskins, and he led the team to a Super Bowl championship the 1991 season. Mark Rypien, your 1991 Super Bowl 26 most valuable player, the first of only two non-American born players in the NFL to win the Super Bowl MVP award. He was born in Canada. Can you name the other one? This is a toughie. The answer is former Georgia Bulldog wide receiver Hines Ward of the Pittsburgh Steelers, MVP of Super Bowl 40. He was born in South Korea, I think maybe a military base or something. Have to look that up. All right. So Rypien went on to be last year with the Redskins in 1993, and then he went to Johnny's Browns in 1994 and helped lead the Bill Belichick-led Browns to the playoffs that year. When Vinny Testaverde was hurt, I think Testaverde was the starter in that playoff game where Belichick's Browns beat the Patriots. Rypien went to the Eagles in 1995. He went to the Rams in 1995. Went to the Eagles in 1996. Went back to the Rams in 1997. Retired. Had 3 years later, in 2001, came out of retirement to back up a very young Peyton Manning in Indianapolis, and he threw 9 passes that year. At the age of 39 for the Indianapolis Colts with Jim Mora. I don't know what his connection there was with the Colts. Maybe there was some offensive coordinator there that had worked with him before, but something lured him out of retirement for the 2001 season, and then he retired. All right, so Free Jack Balls asked me a lot, or a couple of times, who was your favorite player in Redskins history that you saw? And probably the answer is Mark Rypien, because he wasn't the best player that I saw, but he was. He really handled a lot of criticism, and a lot of it was self-inflicted, is from poor play, getting a big contract and not playing well. But he really handled criticism well, and there's a lot of it back then as a Skins quarterback. So happy birthday, Mark Rypien, and then also happy birthday to Mr. Met's son. Today turning the big 6. Today, number 6 for Mr. Met's son on October the 2nd. That's Bud Harrelson's number, by the way, of the Mets. It's also a few Jets quarterbacks Wore the number 6, of course, Mark Sanchez, the great Mark Sanchez. The great Ray Lucas. Doesn't Free Jackballs have a connection to Ray Lucas, like his coach? There was a coach who coached him or something. And of course, Bubby Brister, number 6, played for the Jets too. Number 6. Happy birthday to Mr. Met's son. All right, last night's featured presentation. I know Jeff Jones was in it, and some other people. And tonight's feature presentation is going to be the tagline is how does a worldly high school guy start dating an unsuspecting Christian girl? Answer is he becomes the Pretender. 1987. Tonight's feature presentation: Mark Rose, Dan Addington, Crystal Robbins, Donna Keshelworth, Jack McAney, Jeff Glover, and John Eric Davies. A cameo from Rich Cristiano himself, another Cristiano film, a must-watch for this season of movie viewing, as we are now 9 days away from Horror Fest. 9 nights to go. Got to knock this one out tonight. It's going to be a classic. Gaviero watched it last week and was loved it as much as ever. How could you not? How could you not? All right. All right, boys. Baseball playoffs continue today and tonight, and then NFL Week 5 resumes tomorrow. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Atlanta Falcons. Tune in tonight for a few premiere videos on the Frank Addington channel. 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. I'll have a premiere video from last night looking at the flood warning. Okay, and then there's a part 2 of that. And then the third premiere will be my quarter point of the National Football League season power rankings, my top 10 power rankings. Remember that? You guys remember that last year? So with week 4 in the books, going to do it. Go ahead and just do it now. The quarter rankings for the top 10 NFL teams. All right, boys, I'll see you then.